Shalom Obracha, this Dvar Torah, Le'unishmat, Tzvi Arieh ben Yaacov David, Le'unishmat Yaacov David ben Simcha Mordechai, Le'unishmat Tova Rivka bat Golda. The Parsha of this week is Parashat Mishpatim, the Parsha just after the Parasha of Matan Torah. It's a beautiful Parasha because this Parasha talks about the laws. That was the main reason why Hashem saved the Jews from Egypt, saved them being slaves, to give them the Torah. So last week it was the Parasha of Yitro, the Parasha of Matan Torah, the Parasha that it's named Yitro because Yitro, he was a goy, he was not Jew, and he realized there is God. So he joined the Judaism. Everybody heard what he heard, but Yitro, he did something special. He said to himself, well, after all what I heard about what Hashem did to the Egyptian, I have to know more. Because a lot of times we think we know something, and then by being interested, we learn, we discovered a lot of things. And that's what happened when Yitro came to the Jews in the desert. So Moshe Rabbeinu, he told him exactly what happened. Oh, Yitro said, well, that was not what I heard. I heard only a part of that, and only a part of what he heard, he came. And now that he heard the rest, so he said, so I'm happy that I came here. That was the parasha of last week. And what we learned from the parasha of last week, we learned if a non-Jew, that he was not among the people who saw miracles and he came, so what about us? That we saw all these miracles and we came from our grandparents that they've been there, and so that give us the obligation to do a little bit more. So from Yitro we learn how to be more, how to learn about Hashem a little bit more. And this is the parasha of last week. And the parasha of this week, the Torah told us something that happened before Matan Torah. What happened before Matan Torah? It happened something. Moshe Rabbeinu alav shalom, he called all the young people, all the young men. That was exactly 2 days before Matan Torah. 2 days before Hashem he gave the Torah, Moshe Rabbeinu, he called all the young boys, all the Bechorim, the firstborn. He called them. And he told them, we're going to do a sacrifice in the mountain of Sinai before Matan Torah. And they did a sacrifice to Hashem. And then Moshe Rabbeinu, he took the blood from the sacrifice that they did. He took two glasses. One. So he took 2 glasses, so he spread the blood on 2 glasses, half that he threw on the Mizbeach, it's the place where they did the sacrifice, and half he threw it on the Jews. So I repeat again, because this is something that people don't know, they don't know about that. Moshe Rabbeinu, he called all the Jewish firstborn. There were maybe thousands of them. Because don't forget, there were a few million who came out from Egypt. And there were few thousands. Can you imagine all those few thousands? They were all together in the mountain of Sinai, and to do two special sacrifice. 2. And And what they did was that Moshe Rabbeinu alav shalom, he took the blood from those two sacrifices, and after he took 2 glasses, and he put half in one, and the half he took it in his hand, and he threw it on the Mizbeach and the hotel of sacrifice, and the other half he threw it on the Jews. So now, and that was the alliance. Hashem did the alliance with the Bnei Israel. So my question is, why Moshe Rabbeinu he needed to call all the firstborn? I don't understand why Hashem. Why? Of course, it's Hashem who told to Moshe Rabbeinu to do that. Why this kind of sacrifice only for the firstborn? All the firstborn, they were there. Don't tell me because they were not killed in Egypt. No, I don't accept that. It must be another reason. There must be, for that we do something. But for that special occasion, 2 days before Matan Torah, before Hashem appeared to the Jews and give them the Torah, I do not understand this kind of sacrifice that half that they did, the firstborn, half Moshe Rabbeinu threw it on the Jews, and half threw it on the Mizbeach. I do not understand. And the Torah said that Moshe Rabbeinu, he wrote all what happened since the creation of the world, yes, since Bereshit, till now, till this sacrifice that the firstborn did. And he wrote there all the mitzvot that the Bnei Israel that receive since they left Egypt till now. Because Hashem, he gave them some. He gave them the 7 mitzvot of Noach, and he gave them the mitzvot of Shabbos. He gave them the mitzvot of Paraduma. He gave them some mitzvot, not all of it. And Moshe Rabbeinu wrote it, like the Torah said, "Vayichtov Moshe et kol divrei Hashem," and he wrote it. And then, "Vayashkem baboker dem Moshe Rabbeinu," and he built a mizbeach, with stones, where with 12 stones, and then he sent all the young Jews, all the new Bnei Israel, all the firstborn, vayalu olot, and they did vayalu olot vayizbechu zbachim shlamim, and they did these two sacrifice, and then vayikach Moshe took half of the blood, and he put it on one glass, and the other half of the blood he threw it on the mizbeach, and the other half he threw it on the Jews. I do not understand why this. Why Moshe Rabbeinu he had to write this from Bereshit till now? Why Moshe Rabbeinu he did not write till the end, and after he will write all the whole Torah? Why just now? Why just now Moshe Rabbeinu he wrote this in front of those new firstborn? And why only the firstborn were chosen? And why half to throw it as an alliance between Hashem and the Bnei Israel, half of the blood? And now what is very, very interesting, listen to this, very, very interesting. The Torah said, Vayikach Moshe Hatzi Adam, and Moshe took half of the blood. Rashi said, who took the half of the blood? Rashi said, it was an angel that came from up there, from the Shamayim, and he was the one who split the blood. He took 2 glasses, the one where he received the blood, and he poured half here to be equal, half to throw on the Mizbeach, half to throw on the Jews. The question is, Why the Malach? Why an angel? Why Moshe wouldn't do it himself? It's Moshe who took the blood. So do it yourself, Moshe. Put half in one and put the other one. That's it. I do not understand why. My friend, I have to tell you something. From this parasha, we learn the way to educate the children. You know, the Gemara said, when Hashem, he wanted to give the Torah to the Bnei Israel, Hashem, he said to Moshe Rabbeinu, Moshe, I want to give the Torah to the Bnei Israel, but who's the guarantee? Because the Torah, with the Torah, I created the world. So, I cannot give the Torah to somebody that he will not respect it. Then the world will be destroyed. So, what guarantee I have? After all what I did to the Jews, all the miracles that I did with them. So now, I want to give them the Torah. I want a guarantee that they will keep it. So Moshe asked the Bnei Israel, Hashem, you want a guarantee? So the Bnei Israel said, well, we will be the guarantee. We guarantee that we will respect the Torah. So Hashem, he told them, but what guarantee I have that you will respect? So they said, well, our guarantee is our fathers, Abraham, Yitzhak, and Yaacov. So Hashem, he said, but Abraham, Yitzhak, and Yaacov pass away. They die. So who's the guarantee? If I don't have a guarantee for the Torah that I'm going to give you, there is no. I don't want to waste time. I don't want to maintain the world like this. I will destroy it because I created the word for the Torah. If there is nobody who receives the Torah, there is no. I have no purpose to maintain the word. I did all what it's for you to get out from Egypt. You saw who I am. You know I am God. You know what I am. Now I want to give you the Torah. That all what happened since the exit of Egypt, it's for the Torah. Now who's the guarantee? So the Jewish people said, well, our guarantee will be our children. Hashem said, I accept that kind of guarantee. That means, if you don't respect Torah, I take your children. Well, today, my friend, our guarantee it's our children. That's why we have the responsibility to educate Torah to our children. As we say in Shema Israel, teach the Torah to your children, and before you teach the Torah to your children, teach it to yourself first. You know, my friend, a lot of times there is people who ask me, Rabbi, we want a bracha that our children will be good Jews. So I tell them, well, before you ask for your children, what about you? Are you good Jews? You put tefillin? No. So how you want your children to be good Jews and you don't put tefillin? Do you respect Shabbat? No. So you want your children to be a good Jew with no Shabbat. It doesn't make sense. And this is the problem. That's what Hashem said. Before you teach to your children, teach the Torah to yourself. Like the Haggadah. We say in the Haggadah, V'gata lebincha. You have to tell your children what I did in Egypt. It's a beautiful story, but do you feel it? If you don't feel it, even if you tell the story to your children, they will not take it as it should be. They will take it like an adventure, a story. But when you tell the story and they see that you are motivated, you are excited, your story comes straight from the bottom of your heart, so it will come to their mind to understand it. V'gata libincha. And we'll never forget my father, Alav Shalom, when we saw him on Pesach, how he did Pesach, how he did Chanukah, how he did Purim, how we saw, the story to revive. We saw Pesach in my house. We saw Sukkot in my house. We saw the way my father he invested his emunah on the mitzvah that gives us a pleasure. So that's why we cannot never forget what our parents teach us. So this is very, very important that on Matan Torah, HaKadosh Baruch Hu said to the Bnei Israel, I want guarantee. So the Bnei Israel, he said, well, our children, they were our guarantee that we will, that mean we parents, when we do the mitzvot, when we respect Torah, because we know our children is the guarantee for us. So because they are the guarantee for us, so we teach them as well. Why? Because they're going to be one day the guarantee for their children. So that's why the Torah today, still from Matan Torah till now, the Torah exists. Why? Because all the time our parents were guarantees. The parents for the children become parents, they become a guarantee for the children, for the Torah. Till now, my friend, I even that I am 71-year-old today, and all my children are married, and I am a grandfather, but I still, I am, my children today, they are my guarantee that I give to Hashem. Hashem, my children are my guarantee. And my children today, they have children. So the parents, they are guaranteed for their children. As long as I live, I am still, my children, my guarantee. So I have to be careful, God forbid, that I will not do mistakes, because my children are guaranteed. So my friend, that's why I think Moshe Rabbeinu alav shalom, before the Jews received the Torah, Moshe Rabbeinu, he took all the firstborn. Why he took only the firstborn? Because the firstborn are the oldest in the family. And all the firstborn are an example for the children, for the rest of the youngest brothers. And that way the firstborns, they have, for the heritage, they take twice. Why they take twice? Because they have been they've been like a sample for their brother. So they invested more to be good boys, so that the brothers will follow their steps. That's why Hashem gives them a reward of twice the heritage. Twice the heritage. So now you understand, my friend, when Moshe Rabbeinu alav shalom took the firstborn to sacrifice, to do this kind of sacrifice, so that the firstborns, before Matan Torah, they will be marked. It's a mark that they will never forget. It's something that they will never forget, that they've been chosen, only the firstborn, to do a sacrifice on the mountain of Sinai. And from that sacrifice, Moshe Rabbeinu took the blood, half of the blood he threw on the Mizbeach, and half of the blood he threw it on all the Bnei Israel. That will mark them. What the meaning to mark them? To mark them that they are responsible for their brothers, for the youngest brothers, for the youngest sisters. And that's something that marks you, you do it all your life. And that's why Moshe Rabbeinu, he wrote it. He wrote from the Bereshit till now. Why he wrote it, why he didn't write, that as well. Moshe Rabbeinu wanted to mark the Jews. He wanted to mark those children. Hey, children, your parents, your parents are your parents. But because your parents took you as a guarantee that your parents will respect the Torah, and if they will not respect the Torah, they will make you in danger. So that's why Moshe Rabbeinu alav shalom, he did a double mark to the Bnei Israel, to the firstborn, that they will never forget their responsibility. And the parent, they will never forget the way that you have to educate the children, because the children, if they don't give them enough Jewish education, they are responsible for them. And now we understand why the one who split the blood, it was an angel. It's impossible that Moshe Rabbeinu, he can split the blood. You know, the blood, maybe there is one drop of blood less, maybe one blood more, there is more. It's impossible to know there is half-half. I mean, if you take 2 glasses, you put half here and half here, and you measure them, I mean, for you it's the same. But maybe there is a half of a drop of blood more here or less here. Only a malach, only an angel can do that. Because the angel is not from this world. The angel came from up there. And because the angel come up there, so, because an angel come from up there, so only an angel can measure exactly the quantity of the blood, really the real quantity, no drop of blood more, no blood of blood less. That's why we needed for that an angel that has no connection of this world. My friend, I want to, now that I've been talking to you about the impact that Hashem wanted to give to the firstborn to realize their responsibility. On one hand, the parents have the responsibility to educate their children. On the other hand, who is in danger? The children. So, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, he showed to those children, to those firstborn, how much Hashem loved them, that he chose them as a guarantee. And to help them, so Hashem, he did few things that they will never forget. What? The fact that they've been chosen by Hashem to be those that their brothers and sisters will learn from them how to behave. And because of them, Moshe Rabbeinu wrote all the Torah, from the creation of the world till before Matan Torah. And it's a malach who split the blood from the sacrifice that they did. It's incredible. And that's something that they will never forget. Never forget. It's something that it will mark them for life. I would like to tell you just a beautiful story about, you have to know something. A pilot, he cannot pilot a plane if he doesn't know how to go up and to land. Take off and landing. He should learn. Judaïst too. You have to pilot yourself. What you can do, what you cannot do, to make you a Jew. I mean, you can take off, but you don't know how to land. And even to take off, there is a limit. You cannot take off too much, otherwise you, like a plane, there is a limit how much you can take off, till when he can climb, then after it, he can make the pilot can make in danger of the plane. And as well, the way that how we land, how we should land. Yeah, I mean, this is something that we have to know. That's why HaKadosh Baruch Hu give us mitzvot, how to measure those mitzvot, not to do mitzvot that Hashem did not tell you to do. Don't do more than what Hashem asks you, but don't do less as well from what Hashem asks you to do. It's very important. And I would like just to tell you some beautiful story of a mamash, a beautiful story that one day my father, Alav Shalom, he wanted to know when Mashiach is going to come. You look today, with all what happened in the world. It's terrible, terrible. A lot of bad things happen today. A lot. The Russia and Ukraine, the earthquake, the volcanoes. Today, we're sure that something is going to happen one day. I don't know, but something is going to happen. Look, just a few minutes ago, there is a war airplane from Russia that he came to the space of the Golan just 7 minutes ago. I don't know what the Russians are trying to demonstrate here in Israel and the Golan. We don't know. Anyway, we live in a world that it's like of provocation. My father, Alav Shalom, he told his secretary, I want that you buy me tomorrow the newspaper. I want to see about the lottery. What number of the lottery win? From that number, I will know when Mashiach is gonna come. I will know what's gonna happen. Are we in the time? That story happened about 60 years ago, maybe even more. So the secretary brought him the paper 1 day, 2 days after, and my father started to look the page where it said there what lottery won, and he saw the number. The number that won, it was 26464. And then my father was very, very happy. So they asked him, why are you happy? He said, well, Be'ezat Hashem, I haven't my answer. Mashiach is not far away to come. I'm talking to you that story 60 years later. Huh? Look, my father, 6 years ago already had Emunah of Mashiach. And what the meaning of 26? 26 is the name of God. 464 is the name of David. Dalet is 4. Vav is 6. Dalet is 4. That means my father Alav Hashem said, well, we're not far away. Hashem, Be'ezat Hashem, is going to send us David. This is our lottery. This is our winning. But when? Well, when? You have to believe. Stick on it. My friend, we see from what I told you how much HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Hashem, you want to give impression, to impress the Jews, the new boys, the new generation, the firstborn, that they are the sample, they are those to teach their youngest brothers and sisters. Hashem give them kavod. Hashem give them this kind of kavod to call them to do the sacrifice in the mountain of Sinai before Matan Torah, and with the sacrifice that they did, angel came, took the blood, split the blood, half on the 12 stones that represent the tribute of the Israel, and half to throw it on the Jews. It's something that they will never forget. It's like Hashem give them that day. Well, you have your responsibility. You are your parents are responsible for all of you. You boys, you are responsible of your youngest brothers and sisters. That is more or less the parasha of this week. But I heard, I was a sandak of a man that he became Jew, and he was 60 years old. I will never forget that. Today he's about 75 years old today, and today he did twice all the Shas, all the Torah he learned it. It's incredible. I saw him last week, and he told me, Rabbi, you've been my sandak. I said, yes. He told me, Baruch Hashem, thank you, Rabbi. I learned twice the Shas. I repeated twice the Shas. And to learn the Shas, it takes 7 years. I told him, well, I'm proud of you. I'm very proud of you. And you know what he told me? He told me, I feel so bad. Why? My father, he didn't push me to do the Brit Milah. I feel so bad. Why he didn't push me to do the Brit Milah? I told him, well, you've been converted, your father was not Jew, so he couldn't do you a Brit Milah. He had no responsibility for you to teach you Torah because he didn't know what it is Torah. So after he told me, Rabbi David, everybody think that my father, that I am converted, but it's not true. My father, he was Jew. Just wanted to hide his Judaism. So sometimes I blame him. Why he hid his Judaism? Why he told me that I was not Jew? Why didn't do me the Brit Milah? Till I realized, I found out later that after his father passed away, that my father was a Jew, and they hide their Judaism from the rest of the family, my father and my mother. Why did he do that? They had a responsibility. Look, in 14 years, I did twice the Shas. Maybe I could have done the Shas a few more times. I could have been a good Jew all my life. So, my friend, this is what the Parsha is all about. The Parsha is all about this Parsha of Mishpatim, is to teach us that before Hashem gives the Torah to the Bnei Israel, first, Hashem, he wanted to teach the young people. The young people. He wanted Hashem to mark them, to impress them with all what Moshe Rabbeinu did for them. And that was very, 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 very important for Hashem to do that. And this is something that I will never forget. All the education that I got from my parents, it was a simple education, simple emunah, with no philosophy. We did not ask questions because everything was clear in our mind. And that everything can be clear in our mind is the way how we transmit. If we the way how we transmit things. But if you transmit things, it's like if a poor man comes to your house, knock at the door, and you see him, and you take a dollar, you threw a dollar. Okay, you did it tzedakah, but the way you did it, that's what you teach your children. I mean, if on Shabbat you start to talk, my business is short today. The children, when they listen that, they will feel that the Shabbat it's something, it's hard. So you don't give them the pleasure of Shabbat. That way, on Shabbat, all the family should be together, sing together. And then the children, when they grow, they do the same. I mean, all what I do today, it's what I learned from my parents. Of what I saw my mother, the way she was happy to cook for Shabbat, the way she was happy, and she had no car, and she had to bring, food, heavy potatoes. I mean, it's not easy. My father didn't go out. I mean, I have all these memories. My father, the sacrifice that he did, and even with all the problems that he had, he said, "Thank you to Hashem." He said, so that made easy for me life. So life today, even with all the kind of difficulties where I can be, I can accept them. When you believe in Hashem, you don't feel the difficulties because your emunah is, well, it's come from Hashem. The way that it's come from Hashem, it will go. So that makes it for us easy. The problem is when you have no emunah, if you have a problem, so you have a problem. So you have to assume the problem. It's not easy to assume a problem. Then what happens after? A depression. Then depression. Why people have depression? Because they have problems that they cannot, that they cannot resolve. I remember when I was a baby, when I was a boy, I remember that it was my teacher. He used to beat me. Really, he used to beat me very, very strong. And usually, I could have a psychological problem with all what he did to me, that teacher. That he was to take my shoes off and smack me. But no, I forgive him. In my life, I had a lot of enemies in my life. They did to me very, very bad things. Very, very bad things. Somebody else will leave Judaism. I promise you. Somebody else could leave. He say, well, there is no Hashem Shalom. But no, I accept them. Why? Because I said to myself, where that come from Hashem? Well, maybe something else could happen to me, and that's what happened. So I accept it. So that means the emunah that my parents give me, that I learned from them, that give me a learn of a high level emunah on Hashem. That everything that came from God and for the good, not for the bad. But if people, when they have a problem, they started cursing, why God did that, ba 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 ba. So maybe they will have no solution. But they teach their children how to repeat the same way, like them, and then they will be with no emunah. So my friend, this is the Parsha of the week. There is Mishpatim. We learn from this Parsha. Just I finish with it. Moshe Rabbeinu, he took the blood that the Malach, the angel, split, and he threw it on the Jews. Just can you imagine? How can a half of glass every Jew will receive a drop of it? It's impossible. It's impossible. Just take a half glass of water, throw it on people. There will be maybe 200 people that you will receive, maybe 300 people, not millions of people. How? So, my friend, we have emunah that half glass of blood that Moshe Rabbeinu threw on the Jews, Hashem divided like the rain, drops of rain. Hashem divided that blood on drops, and in a way that every Jew received something on him. And that was the alliance that he did with Hashem. It's all that the way that the Jews, before they received the Torah, they made the alliance with Hashem. Hashem bless you, and God bless you, and I pray to Hashem to give you bracha v'atzlacha, and briut k'neratzon be'ezat Hashem. I would like just to complete with a story that I heard from Mr. Sheldon, that one day he was with his friends, with his brothers. They were skiing, and they were running, and his father, he started to scream at one of the boys that what he was doing is dangerous. So the father, Mr. Sheldon, he told him, stop. Then after, Mr. Sheldon, he asked his father, why, Papa, you screamed to that boy? Why did you scream to us, all of us? He said, because that boy was the oldest. Because he was the oldest, so everybody followed him. So that was, if he slowed down, everybody will slow down like him. So this is, my friend, the show that I give today. The show that way, because of the children, their responsibility toward their youngest brothers and sisters. That's why Hashem chose the Bechorim, the firstborn, to participate in this sacrifice in the mountain of Sinai, and through them the alliance, the Bnei Israel came, and through them the Malach came to split the blood of the sacrifice into two, and then Moshe Rabbeinu threw one on the Mizbeach, and the other half on the Bnei Israel. All this, Hashem did it to mark the Bechorim, the young boys of the Jews, to feel their responsibility toward their brothers and sisters, the young one. Now, my friend, because the parents, they were in danger, because Hashem told them, well, you are the guarantee for your children. The children are your guarantee. Now the children are in danger, because they are now the guarantee. If the parents don't do mitzvot, they'll be punished. So Hashem told the children, no, don't worry. I help you. How he helped them? Through what he did to them, that he will mark them. So Be'ezat Hashem, always, they'll be good. Hashem bless you. Thank you.